did tell you we're going to have some fresh new interviews. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
We've reached 2018 by God's grace, and we are very, very excited to have a fresh new interview. People haven't seen her face. They know about her, but they don't know who she is. So now today, you're actually putting the picture to the work. And I'm telling you, she does amazing, amazing work, honestly. Like, yeah, let me not babble too on. You can see for yourself, innit? So today, we are going to introduce to you the lovely, lovely Kirby, who is the CEO of Platinum Tresses. Yes, I said it.
Hi.
She is the CEO of Platinum Tresses. So you've seen them over Instagram, you've seen all the bridal stuff. Let me even talk too much. But she's the CEO. Welcome, Kirby.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. Honestly, like, it's been a blessing. One thing I can say about Kirby is that consistency is her key. Charlie, the emails that she was sending, corresponding, she was on point, and that is what I love. Honestly, great stuff. So, Kirby, introduce yourself to her.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Kirby De-Bords. I'm the CEO and head hairstylist for Platinum Tresses and Beauty. I deal with bridal hair, I deal with weaves, wigs, colour, chemical treatments, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm an all-round hairstylist, but I'm most popularly known for my bridal hair. I'm based in North London, and yeah, I'm just a young lady trying to get on in life.
She's pretty, isn't she? Look at her.
Oh gosh.
Look at the top. She ain't skin. Wow. She made sure she came prepared. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, my dear, so she's let you know what she's about, what she does. How did you start?
Okay, so this is how I started. It's a pretty long story, but I will try and cut it short just not to bore you guys. So whilst I was at university studying sociology, doing a sociology degree, I used to sort of do hair on the side, nothing too serious, just stuff for my friends, that sort of thing. But I also used to work part-time temporarily as an administrator. I found that a lot of the jobs that I'd take up would be temporary contracts, and I'd get laid off, and it got tiring being laid off. And at the time, my partner said to me that I should put my work on Facebook, which was a very long time ago. This was 8 years ago, so Facebook was popping at the time.
Yeah, it was popping.
So I kind of took, just thought, okay, I'll just put it up. Didn't think it would be anything serious, but when I did put up my images, people seemed to love my work. I started working from my bedroom. I'd have people come up to my bedroom, I'd do their hair, and that's where it started sort of flowing. I think the year that I boomed the most was 2012, 2011, 2012, when Invisible Partying came.
Remember the Invisible Partying?
Yeah, Invisible Partying, yeah. So I was really well known for the Invisible Partying. I'd have people from far and wide come down to me for an Invisible Partying. And that's when my sort of clientele just shot up. So yeah, I started around then, just got a lot of clientele, a lot more experience, and so that was 8 years ago. And then 4 years ago, I'd say about 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing bridal hair. So I had training from an Albanian lady named Morella. She used to teach me privately one-to-one lessons.
Wow.
I sort of got bridal hair experience because of a friend of mine who's also my long-time client, Franklin, who's a bridal planner and coordinator. She gave me my first bridal job. I wasn't so great, but you have to start from somewhere. Everyone has to start from somewhere. So I did a few jobs with her, and then I got more experience, more hands-on experience, and then I really enjoyed doing bridal hair, and I thought that would be my main focus apart from everything. So that's when I started doing bridal hair as well, and here we are today, like 4 years later after we did my bridal hair, and yeah, that's how I got started.
That is excellent. And one thing I really respect Kirby about is that she mentioned names. Some people, when they've started things, it's like they started it by themselves. So she gave props. So big up Franklin. I don't know
Franklin.
We respect you, girl. And big up
Okay, so there's a few people along the way. Mirella, who was my Albanian teacher, she's been amazing. She's the reason why I do bridal hair. Thank you, Mirella, for all your training. Thank you to my sister, MUA Paloma. Everyone, go on her page on Instagram. She's an amazing makeup artist. Thank you to her for making referrals to me with her brides, and I make referrals to her. She sort of encouraged me to push forward. She's my younger sister, but honestly, she's very, very inspirational. Her work is amazing, and yeah, thank you to her, and thank you to all my family and friends who've really encouraged me and pushed me out there. So yeah.
See, we're giving the thank yous first. We're doing something different.
Different.
We are there, you know. So in talking with Kirby, as beautiful as she looks, can I keep saying how beautiful she looks very beautiful, you know. You know, talking to her, I got to know her more, and you know, got to know her journey with Christ, which she will tell you in a second. She's also you know, been through a couple of things. She's a mum to a beautiful 4-year-old boy, which I have met before at my godson's birthday. That was an event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her platform now to talk to you about certain things that she's gone through, because I know obviously a lot of young ladies who are mums as well, who maybe don't know how to get into that path, but she's got a powerful testimony, something that maybe I wasn't aware of, and I'm sure if I'm not aware, then a lot of people are not aware of. And yeah, we're just gonna focus more on that, and her trials, and how she's actually got to build herself up to where she needs to be. So I'm gonna hand you over. So yes, Kirby,
Yes.
talk us through your testimony and why you've grown into your faith. Yes, that's the best thing to say.
Okay, so as Ohima mentioned, I'm a mother, well, a single mother. I have a 4-year-old son. Yeah, so this disclaimer, my son was not born out of wedlock. I was married, traditionally married anyway. I was with my son's father for about 10 years. It was a very turbulent relationship, and at the time, I must say I was not very serious about my faith. I wasn't very serious about my relationship with God and Christ and the church and whatsoever. I was not in tune at all. So I know that is a very, very, very huge contributor as to why my relationship was so turbulent, because both of us were not in tune. There were a lot of trials and tribulations. There was a lot of breakups and makeups. And eventually, in 2012, we did our traditional ceremony. After that, things took a turn for the worse. I did fall pregnant about 5-6 months after we did the traditional marriage. I think my pregnancy was extremely difficult. Not only because I have a medical condition, which I may go into some detail during the course of this interview, but not only because I had a medical issue, but also because my relationship with my then husband was very, very rocky. So we did break up when my son was 6 days old, due to a lot of things that happened. It was not just us not getting along. It was because of so many things. If you're not very close to me, you wouldn't really know what happened. Yeah, so our relationship broke up, and at that stage, when you're with someone for 8 to 10 years, that's literally your life. And I felt my life ended when my relationship ended. I didn't ever think I would be a single mother, because I did things the right way, as you know, Ghanaians or Africans or black people would say it's the right way, or a Christian would tell you it's the right way. I went to university, I got married, I had a child, I did it in that order. So I'd reached a stage where it was out of sync. I was now on my own. I initiated the breakup. It was not all him. We both did things wrong. I can put my hands up to that I also did things wrong. So I got to a stage where my life came to a standstill. I had nowhere to turn. It's like I was hitting my head on the wall. I couldn't move forward. I couldn't move backwards. I felt stuck. I didn't feel like anyone knew my plight. I didn't feel like anyone that was close to me could relate. We could relate on a sort of similar level, because my parents have been together for 35 years plus.
Wow.
So I'm from a family where my parents are still together, and that's all I've known. I've known mother and father. I've known children, all from one mother and father. Not, I wasn't from a broken relationship or a broken home. So already that was a disappointment in itself, because it's like I wasn't able to follow the same path. So I felt like I couldn't relate to my parents on that level. I didn't feel like any advice that my parents could give me would sort of get me through what I was going through, because they couldn't understand what I was going through. They never divorced. They're together. My friends as well, I was like the first of my friends to get married and have a child. So I felt like they as well could not really relate to me on that level. So I just felt alone. I felt like there was no one that I could talk to. So I did go into depression. I'd lost a lot of weight, not only because of the pregnancy, but I was in a really bad place. So one day it was all too much and I had nowhere to turn, and I literally just resigned myself to the fact that, look, the only thing that's going to get me through whatever I'm going through now is Christ. There's nothing that's going to get me through. But the problem was, at the time, I didn't have a home church. I didn't feel comfortable in any church that I had attended. Like, literally, I was raised in the Church of England. Well, as a black person, I'm not going to lie, God forgive me, but it's very boring. You have sermons, you know what's going to happen, you know all the...
It's repetitive.
Lord, it's repetitive.
Yeah,
the Lord,
I grew up in the Catholic home, and very repetitive.
Yeah, and also I'm not one for the popular churches where all the Ghanaians, all the Nigerians, all of that stuff where you go to church and there's so much politics. I'm not one of those people that likes that. So I literally, if I did attend certain churches, I would go to church, hide myself and go home. I didn't know anybody at church, and I still didn't feel comfortable. Through my jobs, also what I forgot to mention is that before I started the bridal hair and all of that, I used to do a lot of photo shoots. So I was featured in a lot of magazines, Black Hair and Beauty magazine. I was in Italian Vogue, all of that stuff. So I used to do a lot of that before my son was born. But it's very time consuming, so I decided to stop doing photo shoots. But along the way, I did a photo shoot for cancer, the National Cancer.
National Cancer Research.
Yeah. So I did a photo shoot with Rachel Kerr, and she's a gospel singer, and a number of other sort of British R&B artists and stuff. So whilst I was doing Rachel Kerr styling her hair, we were just talking about church and all of that, and she was asking me where I attended, and I was like, I don't really have a home church, but I'm not sure. I'm still finding my footing. So she was like, oh, why don't you come to my church? And I was like, oh, what church is that? She's like, Worship Tabernacle. And I was like, oh, I've heard of that. I had a bride a few weeks ago who also mentioned that she goes to that church. And she also invited me to the church too. And I thought, do you know what? This has to be a coincidence. This can't be a coincidence. This is probably God telling me, look, go to this church and see what is in store for you. So I thought, and I'm one of those people I'm really shy. If you know me very well, I'm very, very shy. And I just felt like, oh, what am I going to go on my own? Like, I don't want everyone to look at me. I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. And also, another thing that sort of put me off with Pentecostal and stuff churches, I'm just being very, very open and honest. Please excuse me.
That's what we like a lot in our speech.
I don't want to offend anybody. It's none of that.
Just expressing yourself, okay?
Just expressing myself. One thing I didn't like is... in like the Pentecostal churches, which I wasn't very used to, was when you're new and they make you stand up in front of everyone and you introduce yourself, and I'm just a very shy person, so I don't like all of the attention on me like that. So it put me off going to new churches because I knew they would like make me do that. But with Worship Tabernacle, which is an archway, they don't do that. If you're new, they like, oh, just stay in your seat, just wave your hand, and at the end of the service we'll take you to the back for tea and coffee or a few snacks, and we'll get to know you. So I liked that they didn't put that sort of pressure on me to get up and introduce myself. That for me, that's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
I'd never been the sort of person also to go to Bible studies and none of that, but I just felt so at home in the church. It was such a homely vibe, and it was just amazing. And I felt like my first visit, I just felt like the Spirit of God just descended upon me, and I just thought, yeah, this is where I'm staying. This is my home. This is where I want to grow in my faith, and you know, my relationship with Christ needs to develop here. And so apart from me attending on Sundays, I started going on Wednesdays. I'd never done that in my life.
The Bible studies that you said you wasn't going to go to. You're now going.
I'd never done that in my life. I started going. And I was on my own. I never go to places like this on my own. So I was on my own, and I thought, this is amazing. Like, I was so happy. And because I told you I'd been through so much depression, and I was down, and I never thought that I could come out of what I was, the state that I was in, and I never thought that I would ever have a relationship with anyone again. And I was so upset that I was raising my child alone without him having like a father figure in his life to sort of grow up with at home. I just felt really shut out. And when I started going to Bible studies and going to church and getting involved, I just felt so happy. Like the happiness that God had given me at that point, I just knew it was all God. Everything happens for a reason. And I know that the reason why God had taken me through all of that was to show, like, to prove to me who he is. And that no matter what. So after like I'd been in the church for a while, I said to my sister, you know what, yeah, just you will love it. Like, just try it. You would like it. Just trust me. So she came and she's like, oh my gosh, wow, I love it. And then I started telling my friends. So I introduced a few of my friends. I've brought them into church, and every single person I brought to the church loves it, and they just really feel that they're in God's presence when they come to our church. So. Soul
winning.
Yeah,
she's doing soul winning.
I'm doing my best, guys.
Soul winning. It's not easy, but when it's done, it's a process.
It's a process.
It carries on and it keeps going. If you are on the path and you want to become a soul winner, I pray you'll become a strong soul winner who will bring people into the church.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, and I think the last person I brought in was my current partner, and he's very difficult to please in terms of all of that stuff, because he himself didn't have a home church, but he absolutely loved it, and yeah, I'm just really, really pleased. I'm so impressed with what God has done for me and how far he's brought me, because I'm a happy person again.
Amen. I'm
not in that state of depression and feeling sort of overwhelmed with everything that was going on. I'm happy, I'm hopeful. I believe that God has a better plan for me. Like, whatever it is that's going on now that I think is good, God is going to do times 100.
Amen.
Times 1,000.
Amen.
So, yeah, definitely. That was my journey with God. That and my best friend Fiona kept encouraging me, kept praying for me, kept telling me, Kirby, God is the only way. God is the answer. Christ is the answer. There's nothing, nowhere else that you can turn to. We are all human beings. Human beings are flaky. You can't trust in human beings. You can only trust in God. So give it all to Christ, and you'll get through. And
amen.
Honestly,
that's powerful, you know. Very powerful words, and you need those friends. You need that encouragement around you to empower you to keep believing in God. And you know, sometimes we like to hang on to dead relationships, dead friendships, but it's not bringing us anywhere. So hanging on to the people that push us into Christ is the most important thing. So guys, you had a lot from Kirby. Like, that was amazing. And I love and I respect the reality, the realness, the honesty. It takes a lot for someone to come here and tell you their story. Like I always explain, you might see them on Instagram. They got followings, they do hair. You just think so much things about them. But when they actually come here on the Him I Speak show and they give you an exclusive about themselves, it's like you're connecting in a certain way. And that is what I aim to do on this show. And I just want to let people know that everybody has a story and a journey, and the more you're intrigued to listen and to connect, it can even help you through your own breakthrough, if that makes sense. So in terms of that, you know, Kirby has been fantastic from the get-go. We know each other mutually. I don't want anyone to think that I know my guest meeting. I just like people and I talked to them and I saw her. I got and I said, you, when you're on my
show.
And I think she probably thought, okay, she got, when I made my list, she was at the top. And I'm telling you, she's been consistent. She's given my team so much love. Like, she's been so exciting to get to know. Like, we are so grateful to have her. And we made sure, this interview, first interview of the year, 2018, we knew that this one
special.
Is special. So when she don't blow on all TV programs around the world, and when she establishes herself, you're gonna say that she was on a Hima.
Oh, Hima was first.
That's it. I was first. Number one. So that was my bit of encouragement, and I'm sure Kirby has got a word for you. Because we like to leave words of encouragement, because we've noticed people need to be motivated, need to be encouraged in this day and age, and definitely. We need to leave and bless you with something. So,
okay, so my word of encouragement goes to single mothers in particular. Don't ever feel discouraged. If you've been, I can only talk from my experience, if you've been through a turbulent relationship or marriage that broke down and you feel like there's no left or right, God is the only answer. There's nothing else that can help you. You really need to turn to Christ. Put your burdens on God. He will just take over and He will elevate you to levels that you never thought you could reach. And one thing I'll also say to you women, learn to be self-sufficient. Do for yourself. Build yourself up. Go to school. Get your education. If you're not an educated orientated person, get a job, climb the job ladder, or even just do something that you're good at. Everyone has a gift. Maybe you don't have a gift with your hands, but you have the gift of the gab. Maybe you could be an inspirational speaker. Maybe you're good at sales. Go into sales, or just do something. We all have something we're great at, and just channel your gift, like channel all your gifts, and just pray to God before you start anything. Just really build yourselves, women. We're not in the old school society where men were the ones that used to do for us and provide for the family. Just be able to build yourself and have your own, so that when eventually being a single mother, of course you want to move on and go into a new relationship, a new marriage. Just make sure you have something to bring to the table. Don't ever make a man feel like he's your be all and end all. And just women, you have to be able to do for yourselves and do for your children, because your children are watching you. Because at the end of the day, if you're there relying on someone else to do for you or to provide for the family, what are your children going to grow up to be? What are your daughters going to think? Are they going to think, okay, I'm going to be like mummy, and I'll just stay home and do nothing and just get my hair done and get my nails done and my makeup done all the time and sit at home and wait for daddy to work? Why don't you show your daughter that you can do great things? Be somebody, be the best you can be. Like that's my advice. Like, just build yourselves up with Christ by your side. Like, just do your best. We only have one life to live.
That's it.
So yeah.
I only have one life to live. I love it.
Yeah. Don't ever think that you can't ever move on. You can. You can. You might be broken today, but tomorrow you can be the president of somewhere.
That's it.
I don't know.
Even a country that has not even been yet birthed. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
And I love that word of encouragement, and it comes from Kirby, and she's coming from a place where she knows, so it's easier to connect with her. Or her Instagram, you got a Facebook page, isn't it?
I have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it.
Okay.
You know, Facebook is a little bit dead, so I just focus on Instagram.
She's on Instagram, Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm on Snapchat.
So her stuff will be down below.
Yes.
So please follow her.
Like,
we got weddings in 2018. My friend.
Book me up, hurry up, girl, because dates are flying.
She's getting heavily booked, you know.
Get your bookings in, ladies.
I'm telling you, she's
the dates are going
fast.
Please.
So if I was you, just make sure you got that hair on point. You know what I mean? So yes, she get booking to her, book her sister. Her sister stuff will be low, but her sister might be coming to the show.
Yeah,
she does not know, but she's coming to the show.
show.
She's coming to the show. We are waiting for you.
Anyway, Paloma.
We are waiting. So it's been a pleasure. I've absolutely enjoyed this interview. I've enjoyed this time, and I just wanna, pray that you will go far.
Amen.
Anything that you will do, you put your hands to, God will elevate you.
Amen.
Anyone that's in your circle that will be doing the same things around you, who will build you up, will also be elevated.
Amen.
All through you. So may God continue to bless you in everything that you do. And we're so proud from the Human Speaks team. We're all proud of you. We'll keep rooting you no matter what.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Don't ask her for discount when you email. Can I have discount? No! It is not my suspension sale.
Not my father always told me quality over quantity. If you want something good in life, you have to pay.
That's
no
it.
Discount. Don't come and do Ghanaian things or African things. Oh, won't you bring it down small for me?
No.
Oh, please.
Go and see our pictures.
No.
Can your auntie do some? Can your auntie do some? I beg. No discounts. That just came in my head. No discounts. So, coming for the Hima Speak show, we go do our shoulders thing now. We didn't leave it in 2017. We brought it over. We have to do the shoulders. So killing with the shoulders. And we have to tell them to subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Come on.
Subscribe. Hey. Subscribe. Come on. Subscribe. Hey. Subscribe.